Hey everybody. Maybe you guys can hear me good? You guys can hear me good? I'm trying to there we go. Move that over there. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. In case you haven't noticed, yes, I refer to myself as a silver fox. I dyed my hair silver and I love it. I went through a very traumatic experience to have it, but it is here and I'm happy. Thank you, Stella. Thank you. I'm gonna come to you for my touch-ups because I almost freaked. I almost shaved my head, my entire head. I almost shaved my hair off, guys. Stella, you're a stylist, so you already know how it goes. You know the whole bleaching thing, and you already know what happens when you leave bleach on the hair a little too long, right? And that's exactly what happened to me. But thankfully, with the help of Amanda, I managed to salvage my hair, and I ain't touching it for a while. I'm not touching it for a while. Oh, Stella, I would appreciate that. I bought little travel size miniatures, the Olaplex. I bought that. I bought a whole bunch of hair masks, you name it. I I understand the struggles that women go through when they're trying to get their hair like platinum blonde, and it was a big struggle. Thank you, Gil. Hi, Kareem. How are you? I'm doing well. Oh, thank you, Stella. I definitely could use it because my ends are fried completely. Ty, you know what? You're right. You're right. With me, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get. Hi, Sky and Heather. I saw Heather popped in. I hope you're still here, Heather. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Gil. I gotta represent. It's fall, guys. I am so excited. We're in autumn now. Summer is over. We are, and I love how it just jumped from summer into straight fall, like 50-degree weather, breezy outside. It's just so chilly. I love it. I missed it. Can't wait for winter. Well, actually, I can wait, but oh, oh, shots fired. No, nah, Gil. She's been working really hard. She really has. She's been working really hard, and I actually just got on her because she's been working a little too hard, but she's holding it. I can't do summer. The only thing I love about the summertime is I get a tan. That's the only thing. I get a tan. I didn't even get to go to the beach this summer, guys. We didn't even get to go to the beach, between work and now school but hopefully next year we'll be able to set better plans to do, bigger things and I'm hoping we can actually do set up where we can, possibly, meet some of you guys, take a little vacation, a little trip and meet the familia because it's been a couple of years, so we definitely got to do it. Hi Andrea, hi sweetie, how are you? Thank you. Thank you so much. Sky, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on hoodies. I'm gonna work on t-shirts. I'm gonna work on, I told you guys I wanted to do the giveaways. I wanted to make it more. I wanted to expand it. Um, I wanted to do candles and send out art, art supplies and things like that. So I definitely want to set those things up, and I definitely will. And it'll be something just as my gift to you. So when you guys enter for the giveaways, um, just know that this is a gift. Okay, you don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to contribute to anything. Just continue to spread the awareness. continue to support the channel, and continue to stay on your course. All right. So just so you know, these would be my gifts to you. All right. You guys had so much already taken away from you. It's just about time that, you got a little something in return. All right. So I just want to see something real quick. Okay. So, um, Estella, I'm glad you love it. I'm glad I thought about you when I add the sparkly stuff because I'm a girly girl at heart, and I just wanted to spruce it up, fix it up for you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you got it, and enjoy it in good health and constant. Just let that be a reminder to you, to yourself that the beauty that sits within the picture. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, remember that. So, guys, just if in case, because I'm gonna timestamp this because I know it's gonna stream. In case anyone is new to the channel or if they catch it on the stream, and I'll timestamp it in the description box and in the title, so that way they know where to skip ahead to. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, without further ado, we're gonna get started. Okay, welcome to Narc Survival 101. I'm your girl, Erica. I am an activist and advocate for victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, or any kind of relational abuse. I am here to be a crutch, if you will, support crutch for anyone and everyone who are just going through the motions and want to find a way to get through their motions. All right. My channel is dedicated to survivors and victims of abuse. If you are new to the channel, check it out. Check out the different content, the different videos I have online. Also, check out my website, narcsurvival101.com, where you can sign up to be notified of blogs, upcoming events, upcoming giveaways. You will be notified of every and anything that you will need to help assist you in your journey. And I suck at introductions, so I'm gonna keep it light and sweet. Keep it light and sweet. Everybody who knows me knows that I mean well. But anyone who is new, if you find the channel to be helpful, if you find any of the lives or any of the videos to be helpful, then hit the subscribe button with the notification bell so that way you're notified. I do my weekly lives on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do my other lives on TikTok Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which all of that information will be in the description box. So you have all access to everything. Okay. Stella, I had a date. He turned out to be a creep. My ex's words are now in my head. No one will want me. Well, no one will want you, he said. I'm the only one who will put up with you. That's really a way of him projecting onto you his perception of himself. And and a lot of you already know because a lot of you have been, this is not your first rodeo, and a lot of you have been around long enough to learn some things. But for anyone who's new, whenever someone projects onto you, it's simply their self perception. Okay, that's how they perceive themselves. So when a manipulator tells you no one will want you will be alone forever, or whatever the case may be, they're really talking about themselves. They're really talking about themselves. Whenever someone tries to project negative things onto you, it's really because they feel the opposite. So if they tell you no one will ever want you, it's simply because they know that you're a catch. You are a catch. And they can't have you know that because They don't want anyone else to know that you're a catch. So they figure if I undermine your confidence or if I invalidate you, if I invalidate your feelings, then you'll believe it enough to where you will perceive yourself in that way as well. And often, I don't know if you realize it, but during the times of your relationships, you know, we can all admit to it. We kind of gaslit ourselves too, believe it or not. Like we took on the perception of someone else, the projection of someone else, and we actually push that onto ourselves. We internalize that as, this is who I am. We took on the identity of other people, unbeknownst to us. We took on that identity and we pretty much walked with that. We walked with the idea that this person is right. It's like if they cheated on you, if they ever cheated on you, or if you caught them cheating, or you found out later on that they were, or what have you, you often put yourself in a position to believe that I'm not worthy, or, something's wrong with me. This person cheated. This person went outside of our relationship. Something is wrong with me. And I often tell people you have to change your mindset about that. When someone cheats on their partner, it has nothing to do with their partner. It has everything to do with the person who cheated. It was a choice that they made. Okay. They made a choice to be very selfish. Cheating is a very selfish behavior. Okay. It's that wanting my cake and eating it too. And it's interesting because I was having a conversation with my coworker on my way home. And, I say, I'm one, you don't have to bullshit me. Just tell me what it is. Don't gaslight me. Don't try to, string things along or lead me on. Just tell me, this is what it is. I'm interested in someone else, or I'm looking to be with someone else. But don't lie to me because it makes no sense. But a narcissist, a manipulator, they're going to lie to you because, again, they're selfish. They don't want to let you go completely because of the fact that if what they try to leave you for doesn't work out for them, they always have a way to come back to you. They'll have a way to kind of, maneuver their way back into your life. Hi, official. Oh, yeah. Andrea says, mine told me you won't be able to live without me anymore. And then if you notice, you were getting the bare minimum in your relationships. Okay. A narcissist is someone who puts their needs ahead of others. They are someone who puts their own wants and their desires ahead of other people. Okay. And even though in the beginning of your relationship, it seemed too good to be true. It seemed like they were the greatest person in the world. It seemed like they would do anything in the world for you. If you were dealing with a narcissist or an extremely narcissistic person, they had to do these things. They had to do these things because one, they have to gain your trust. Two, they have to gain your confidence. Okay? They need you to be vulnerable with them. They need you to be open to the idea of being with them, or their facade that they put in front of you. It has to attract you. It has to keep you wanting more from them. And once they've, you know what they say, once they get you, then it's like they stop doing the things that they were doing, and they stop telling you the sweet nothings, and they stop doing all the what is it, like the grand gestures. They stop doing all of those things because now after they've gotten you where they want you, the point of devaluation kicks in, you know. And this is primarily what a trauma bond is. A trauma bond is giving you reward and punishment behavior. It's to mold you, it's to conform you, it's to make you adhere to what the narcissist wants and needs are. So if you were in a relationship, and I mentioned this in this week's TikTok live, on Monday they were horrible to you. They were horrible, they were mean, they were disrespectful, they were, saying hurtful things, possibly, doing, things that clearly weren't warranted. They were doing all of these things. But then come Wednesday, they're coming home with, a whole bouquet of flowers, or, gifts, or they're just lovey-dovey and they're charming you and they're just making you feel like, and you for a second forget that Monday they were being a complete DICK with you. They were being a complete BITCH with you. I'm trying hard to refrain from cursing, guys. I really am. But they were doing all these things with you. And you, for that moment, are blinded because you're like, the person that I always wanted, the person that I always craved, the person that I miss is standing in front of me right now. This is the person that I want. I don't want that person for Monday. I want that person that's here in front of me right now. But little did you know, that person doesn't really exist. That person does not exist. That person only comes out when you are calling them out on whatever it is that they're doing, or you may threaten to leave, or you're giving them an indication that you are going to leave. That person comes out. If you were ever married and you're presenting divorce papers or you're presenting a possible separation, they may show you the nice side of them, and it'll last for a while because it's to basically thwart you off. It's to make you buckle down and back off of what it is that you're going to do. Because again, a narcissist, as conceited as they may be, as callous as they are, okay, as hurtful as they are, and as self-serving and self-seeking as they are, because people take self-serving, self-seeking, and you know they take that as self-sufficient. There's a big difference. There is a big difference. Being self-sufficient means that, with or without people, you can maintain your own. You can do on your own. You can be independent. You can be autonomous. Being self-serving and self-seeking is putting your needs ahead of others by any means necessary. Doesn't matter how you hurt the person, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as in the end you're the one who's gaining from it. My ex used to say all the time, believe what you want to believe. Why he always said that. Believe what you want to believe is a way to invalidate you, and it's a way to gaslight you. It's a way to, you know, it's more so like stonewalling too, right? And this is why I say, guys, if you haven't already, sign up for the website. Sign up for the website because on my blogs, I give very descriptive details. Very descriptive details. Yes, it takes some reading, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it because I put a lot of thought into these articles. But stonewalling is a way to it's a way to avoid accountability, but also to put into your mind that, well, listen, this is their thought process. If I don't admit to anything that you're accusing me of, if I don't validate your feelings, that'll get you to question yourself. That'll get you to question, okay, am I really making a big deal out of nothing? Am I really making things up in my head? Okay. These are different techniques that manipulators use to push someone off their scent. Okay. You guys are the sniffing hound dogs. Okay. That's what you guys are. You guys are, like those police dogs, they sniff until they find the truth. That's what you are. So their job is to keep you off their scent, is to keep you away from whatever it is that they're doing. When someone tells you, believe what you want to believe, that's invalidating you. Now, given the circumstance, because I'm going to tell you something, I have used this statement. And the reason I'm going to explain the difference is because someone such as myself, listen, nobody pays my bills. No one does for me. No one provides. No one does anything for me that I can't do for myself. I feel no need to sit there and try to engage, try to justify or validate any of my actions. I don't lie on people's names. I don't shame people. I don't smear anyone's character. I don't use people. I do not invalidate people in their feelings. I'm always open to listening to other people and what they have to say and how they feel. I'm a very direct person. That's, and even so, after my experience, it's really pushed me to the point because I've always been the kind of person that, I want to see everybody happy. And before I, reformed, because that's really what it is, you guys are reformed, I was willing to try to see anyone happy, even at the cost of my own happiness. Okay. I was self sacrificing, I was the martyr. I'm no longer doing that. I am no longer doing that. So if my ex was to come to me and say, "Oh, blah blah blah," you believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. That's how I would say it because at the end of the day, I owe them nothing. When I gave them everything. When a manipulator, and and how do you know they're a manipulator? Listen, the minute they started disrespecting you, the minute they started invalidating your feelings, the minute they started to, really push you to the limits, okay? And you know the truth. You know everything that you saw. You know everything that you heard. You know everything that went on. And they're telling you, you know what, whatever, believe what you want to believe. That's pure freaking invalidation. Okay? They're invalidating you. They're brushing you off. They are stonewalling you because they don't want to admit to their wrongdoings. Anyone who is willing to take accountability, you see, this is how you discern people. This is how you discern people. If you have someone who is willing to take accountability for any of their wrongdoings and even go as far as apologizing to you for committing an act of betrayal or what have you against you, that is someone, that you can actually take their word because they are willing to be humble. They are willing to be honest and vulnerable and say, "You're right. I was wrong and I apologize." But now, if you have someone that you know was clearly disrespectful towards you, clearly invalidating every feeling, every thought you ever had, brushing you off like you were a piece of nothing, brushing you off like you just don't matter, it's manipulation. It's manipulation. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Yeah, yes, guy. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to, this is why I say discerning is very important. Discerning is extremely important because people can say certain things and it depends on the context, the context. You have to take into consideration someone who is open and honest with you and again is one who takes accountability. That is someone that you can be open to having a conversation with because they're willing to admit to their wrongdoings. They're willing to try to, maybe they can't fix the situation, but they may try to bring you some form of justice because they know they did you wrong. But if you're dealing with someone who clearly refuses to come forward and say, "I screwed up and I know that I can't change the past, but I want to make amends and I want to show you, I want to express to you how sorry I am." A narcissist is not going to do that. They're not going to do that. You have people in this world who have been sitting there for years waiting for an apology. I listen, coming from someone who never got an apology, I personally took it for what it was. I took it for what it was. And it doesn't even matter anymore because at the end of the day, I forgave that person. I forgave that person because what was I going to do holding on to that? I forgave them and I just moved on with my life. Simple as that. So whether that person were to come 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, it really doesn't matter anymore because I already forgave. But that's something they have to live with. Erica, my breaking point was I got tired of always apologizing for no reason, and she would never apologize for anything. And here's a common thing, Sergio, because you guys know me. I'm not biased. I just go based on facts. Okay. The most common thing about women, okay, and then I'm not saying all women, all right, but I being a woman, I can say this. The most common thing about a lot of women is they will not apologize because they will never feel they're in the wrong. Them apologizing is like, no, if I apologize to you, then I'm going to show you that I'm a weak person. And if you're dealing with a narcissistic female, okay, and given the fact that a lot of today's society is based off of social media, it's based off of competition, it's based off of creating, videos and challenges and doing all of this extra, it's just extra BS, okay? When you have women who are getting high praised, especially by other people, by external sources, narcissistic females, that gasses them up. That really gasses them up. And it gasses them up to the point where they feel like I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. If you feel it's like if they say, well, if they apologize and again, that underlying negative, that underlying insult. Well, I'm sorry you feel that I did X, Y, and Z to you. That's not an apology. That's not an apology. In fact, it's invalidating your feelings. I'm sorry you feel that I wasn't nice towards you, or I was a mean, I was mean, or I was a B or whatever. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not an apology. That's not accountability. Okay? Be careful with that. When they come to you, this is why I tell a lot of men because, I know that when it comes to men for some reason, and it's understandable. If you've been hurt by a female, if you've been hurt by a woman, and especially a female narcissist, it's very detrimental to you guys. And I get that. I get it and I understand it, especially when you have women that are very meticulous and you have women that are they can orchestrate certain things and make it appear so real, and they can make it appear, it's like a mastermind type of situation. You have to remember that women, you know, they have this, and not to include, listen, because being a codependent woman, I'm going to tell you something. I never had a problem apologizing, especially apologizing for someone else's actions. I always apologize. I always apologize at the end of every argument that me and this person had. He felt some kind of way about something, I'm apologizing. If I felt some kind of way about something, he'd get pissed off. I didn't want to make him mad, so I'd still end up apologizing. Okay? I remember a time, and listen, I could talk about it with ease because it doesn't really, I've already gone back and forth with the whole entire situation. But I remember a time where I confronted this person because I was like, listen, I think it's pretty messed up how things are happening, but you're just going on like of nothing, and you're just talking to different people. And yes, honest, truthfully, I told them, now that you got these females giving you, giving you attention and all of this or whatever, it's like screw Erica, right? Just forget Erica. Erica doesn't exist. And when this person called me on the phone, he called me guns blazing, like he was furious and he was yelling and he was screaming at me, and he was just getting like so irate and talking so nasty to me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, but you know something? The end of that conversation, I ended up apologizing to him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologized to him for hurting and him having no regard. He had no regard and no respect for me. And I still apologize to him. So trust me, Sergio, I know what you feel. I know what you're feeling. And let me tell you, fellas, something, okay? And anyone who's new that catches this on the stream, don't fall for the BS. Don't fall for the BS of these self-righteous, entitled females who sit there telling you, oh, well, if you don't have this and you don't have that, or who make you feel less of a man. Any true woman, any real woman, number one, will not make a man feel less of a man to make themselves feel good. No true woman will do that. No true woman will do that. Okay? She will not try to change you. She will not try to conform you. And she will not try to make you compete for her love, to make you compete for her attention or for her affection. If that is the case, why the hell are you in a relationship? Let's be realistic. If you, I got to jump through all these hoops and do all of this, and you're supposed to be my girl, why the hell are we even here? Red flags, guys. Pay attention to the red flags. Stella, my ex was racist near the end. He called me a Greek and Greek trash. Why bring in the Greek? Yeah, because you know something, it's just an inferiority complex. It's like if you dated someone who was shorter than you, right? If you dated someone who was a lot shorter than you. I mean, listen, I'm not short, I'm like 5'8", 5'9". I'm not that short. But if you date someone who's a lot shorter than you, and they have complexes or if they have insecurities or if they have issues or even so, listen, you could be good looking to the point where they feel threatened by it. A narcissist or a narcissistic person, they want the image of a great couple, of that, that idealistic couple, but you could look good, but you can't look better than them. You can't do better than them because that will threaten their spotlight. That will threaten their position. But the mere fact that that person would sit there and insult you and use race, because listen, you have a lot of narcissists who are racist. You have a lot of narcissists who are politicians. You have a lot of narcissists that are in the justice system. You have a lot of them that are in the medical field. You have them everywhere. You have them everywhere pretty much. And if not, the majority, you have a good amount to sustain their position as far as their positions of power is concerned. Yeah, I don't, and listen, I've been called, I've been called racial slurs. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's ignorance. It's ignorance. And what you do with ignorance is you don't engage with it. You don't engage with it. He was trying his best to hurt you to the core. He was trying to hurt you with extremes. It was unnecessary. It was uncalled for. And at the end of the day, he's the one who has the problem. And it looks as if he's facing his karma because people people tend to think that these people just walk on by and get away with stuff. No, I don't. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Okay? It does not work that way. If you can imagine all the stuff that you had gone through and you were a good person, okay? You were a good person and you had gone through some bad things with some inherently bad people. Imagine what they're going to be faced with. Imagine what they're going to be faced with. That's why a lot of them tend to try to hoover back their victims because they're dealing with consequences and repercussions of their actions, but yet they want to play the victim because they're like, oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. Of course it's happening to you because look at all the assholish things you were doing throughout your life. What did you expect? Did you expect that you were gonna wake up one day and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna turn over a new leaf? No, 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 no. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Okay? You reap what you sow. So when you're sitting there trying to expect the good things to happen and you're trying to expect money to come and a good job and this and that, nope. You got to pay the Pied Piper, sweetheart. You're very welcome, Sergio. You're very welcome. I listen, I'm a mom, okay? I have a son. And some people tend to, listen, because they don't know the full story. A lot of people tend to think that I side with women only. No, I do side with women, especially in domestic violence, and by that I mean domestically, physically abusive relationships. But I do advocate for men too. I advocate for men too because I am a victim of circumstances that had nothing to do with me. And it took me a while to acknowledge that and to understand that. I'm a victim of circumstances that had absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm not going to spend my life competing with the kinds of females that, aim to use and abuse people. We're not on the same level. We're not on the same plane. How do you heal from a A colorist past. How do you heal from a colorist past remarks from a narcissist and his mother? You know, healing is all about you. Healing is all about you. What I've learned in life is this. I learned to accept the fact that people are going to be who they are. Okay? They didn't just turn that way when you went into their life. They didn't just happen to, you know, flip the switch and all of a sudden became a narcissist after they started dealing with you, especially if you're the one who ended up as a victim in this situation. Come to the terms of acceptance that these people were like that way before you ever came into the picture, way before you ever came around. Come to the terms of that. When you come to the terms of that and you understand that not everybody else in the world is going to be like you, not everybody is going to respond like you, not everyone's going to handle situations the way you do. I think one of the problems that we have, and I'm including us as a collective, one of the problems that we have is that we don't, we subconsciously, let me see if I can say this right. We subconsciously throw aside the idea that people fuck up, okay? And because we're so caught up in the relationship, we're so caught up in the idea that things are going well or things are going so good that, nothing can happen. When you start dating someone, you're going through different phases, okay? Narcissist or not, you're going through different phases. And one of the phases that I think a lot of us get caught up in is infatuation, okay? And I'm not talking that creepy stalker infatuation type. Infatuation is a common stage in every relationship that everyone has when they start dating someone. Okay, that's when you're connecting, that's when you are attaching. And because we're so caught up on these different ideas and these different ideals, we tend to lose sight of the fact that these people are not perfect, these people are flawed people, and these people are capable of doing some damaging things. No one is perfect in this world. So when it happens, you know, yeah, it takes us for a loop. It really, really does. One of the problems that we had in our relationships being survivors of narcissistic abuse is we, again, convinced ourselves that the red flags, no, it's nothing. Those little things, those little white lies here and there, it's nothing. We allowed things to slip. We allowed things to kind of, go over our head or under. But we saw things, we noticed things. Did we address those things? Yes, maybe in some occasions you did address those things. And the minute they just kind of put it in your head, oh, listen, that's nothing, you're tripping over nothing, it's nothing, that's not that serious or whatever. All right, cool, no problem. Boom, on to the next thing. Come to the understanding that people are like the weather. People, I used to say people are like seasons. No, because the seasons come every 3 months. No, people are like the weather. Okay, they can be sunny 1 minute and then raining and thunderstorms the next minute. People are not obligated. That's another thing. We put obligations in relationships. We're not saying that you tell them you're obligated to do X, Y, and Z, but you kind of set these standards, okay? These standards are inherent within you, where these obligations are attached to these people. Well, you're my boyfriend, so you're obligated to be faithful to me. You're my girlfriend, you're obligated to be faithful to me. And the reality of it is that no one is obligated to do anything. Whenever two people come into a relationship, everything that's done in that relationship is by choice. It's by choice. It's not by obligation. Married people cheat on each other all the time. When you go into a relationship, you have to go in not, and I was saying this in my TikTok live. When you go into a relationship, You have to go in not so much worried about if you can trust that person. Oh my gosh, because you'll drive yourself crazy. You will drive yourself crazy wondering if you can trust them, wondering if you have to watch them, if you have to do. No, go into the relationship trusting yourself. You can go into a relationship and say to yourself, there's a possibility this person's going to screw up. There's a possibility this person's going to do something to hurt me. Anything is possible. You have to be aware when you go into a relationship. Do not attach obligation to a person because you can and you will be disappointed. You will be disappointed. People who are not perfect, people who are flawed, listen, I'll use a very, very good example. We fail God every day. We fail the Almighty. We fail the Creator of the heavens and the earth. We fail Him every single day. Who are we to think that people who fail God every single day aren't going to fail us? What makes us so special? We have to consider that. And I'm not saying that you are not deserving of love, that you're not worthy of it. Of course you are. Of course you are. But you will get it under the strength of understanding that this is life. This is these are the types of things that happen. And I want to focus more on trusting myself. I'm not saying, use that as your shield to the point where you're completely closed off to another person. I'm saying trust yourself enough to know that if that situation ever happened, that you're gonna try to be strong and do whatever is necessary for yourself to get out of that situation, to remove yourself, detach from that situation. People in abusive relationships, especially long long periods of time, people in abusive relationships, that's a result of trauma. That's a result of trauma. Why you stayed so long in the relationship has a lot to do with trauma. People often think I've been with this person 10, 15, 20 years. I love them. I love them. I love them. There's a difference between love and attachment. There is a difference between love and in these relationships, a lot of people, a lot of you, if you were codependent, often mistook love with attachment because someone who is disrespecting you, someone who is clearly being very mean and callous towards you, who is lying to you, who is cheating on you, who is degrading you, who is doing every and anything possible to, you know, tear down your confidence, does not love you. That person does not love you. And if that person does not love themselves, a narcissist does not love themselves. They don't even have a sense of identity. How can they love you? How can they love you? How can someone who does not love themselves love someone else? No, they attach themselves. Yes, they attach themselves to you because you're nurturing, because you're kind, and it's fueling them simultaneously. So while they're looking at you like you're weak, you have emotions, you have feelings, you have vulnerability, you're a weak person, they are simultaneously siphoning those good qualities from you. Two for the price of one. Oh, official. But you're a cool shorty, so don't worry about it. I'm referring to the short people who have the complex and feel the need to tear other people down because they want to feel good about themselves. Let me just go back up for a second. I want to make sure I didn't forget anyone. Sky says it was also one day everyone was at the pool and his so-called cousin, she was a girl, came to the pool and before she came, he was hanging out at the pool with me and he ignored me when she came. You know, let me when it comes to something like that, you know, I don't tolerate like the codependent or not, I would not tolerate disrespect like that. Like if you came with me, if I'm on your arm, if I'm your lady, or even if I'm your date, you doing something like that lets me know that you don't value my time, you don't value the efforts, and that should have been a red flag for you in showing you that if he could drop you in the blink of an eye, if another chick came walking in, you know, whether cousin or not, that's just rude. It's disrespectful, and that's not called for. But narcissistic people are also known for treating other people outside of their friends, outside of their family and their significant other. They're known for treating people better than them. They're known for the term that I used a lot as a kid. They're known for flat leaving people. They will flat leave you to go entertain something else. And that's no different from a discard. They'll flat leave the person that they're with because something shiny just walked into the room, or something, something different or something exciting came into the room and piqued their interest. And then what happens? When it's all said and done, you go and approach them on it like, yo, what was this about? Like, why would you do something like this when I was here with you? Oh, you're overreacting, you're exaggerating. It was not that serious. Or they may even apologize and say, all right, fine, I apologize, just to shut you up, just to appease you in that moment because they know they were wrong. They know they were wrong. And just because, guys, just because they don't admit to their wrongdoings does not mean that they don't know that they're wrong. They know that they are. They know they're wrong. They know the way they're acting. They know what they're doing. They know the effect that it is having on you. And that's fine for them because that means that it's pretty much, again, molding you. It's molding you to be what they want you to be. Um, Sergio says, "Oh, I know what you mean, Erica. Like Joe Pesci's short and aggressive." Well, that's a prime example. Like in Goodfellas. Goodfellas, damn good movie. But you could just tell he had a complex. You could tell he had a complex. And he's a damn good actor too. But in the movie, the character, it's just you could just tell. You know, people have certain attributes, certain things about themselves that maybe other people have put them down for it. Maybe other people have scolded them or, insulted them or, made them feel inadequate. So what do they do? What do they do? They try to make the next person feel inadequate. So if you're trying to call them on their shit, they're not having it. So what are they going to do? They're going to try to tear you down. It's like if the person you're dealing with cheated on you, right? They know that they're wrong. They know it's a really crappy move. It's a very selfish move. And instead of taking accountability for their actions, they're going to tell you, oh, well, they could tell you anything, guys, but these are examples. Oh, well, if you didn't let yourself go, I wouldn't have gone out of the relationship. Or if you didn't I'm trying so hard to keep it clean cut. I really am. Or if you gave me more attention, or if you were home more, if you weren't working all the time, or if you paid more attention, like if you gave me more affection and attention, I wouldn't go somewhere else. And again, just fucking leave. Just leave then. Is it gonna hurt? Yeah. Just give me clarity at least. At least give me that much. A narcissist doesn't do that. And that's the thing. They'll go around telling other people, oh, well, that person couldn't handle the fact that I just didn't want to be with them anymore. But they're not telling that, the other people, well, by the way, I gaslit them. I stonewalled them. I wouldn't give them any answers. I wouldn't give them any clarity. I wouldn't tell them anything. I would just kind of breadcrumb them because that's what they're doing. So wait a minute, you're telling me that this is it's over. It just is what it is, and I just got to accept it for what it is. But oh, a couple of days later, you're texting me like if nothing happened, saying, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Going back and forth. Like, what kind of shit is that? Who does that? A psychopath. A psychopath does that. Unbelievable people, guys. Gil, I'm trying my hardest. Trust me, your sister could tell you. I when I started this channel, I was very, very abrasive. Andrea, we are very proud of you. And you have been here. You have been here, popping in and out, but I appreciate because I know you have a life of your own and I completely understand. And I'm glad that things are going in the direction that you wanted to go. But you have been around for a while and trust and believe, I see progression with you guys. I see it. And I'm so proud of all of you because you guys have managed to stay strong in your journey. You managed to stay the course and do what you need to do to heal and move on, you know. And I'm not going to say that you won't meet someone else who's a narcissistic person or, a sociopathic or, and I'm knock on wood, hopefully you don't. But even so, if you do, you have the tools that you need to help yourself get through the motions and to help yourself discern. That's the important thing, so you guys can create those boundaries in your life and have the people who are meant to be in your lives. Have the people who are worthy of being in your lives. So you definitely have come a long way. I'm glad, sweetheart. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. And I know that, and I know some of you are still dealing with it. Some of you are still going through the motions, having your trigger moments. I know it's kind of a back and forth thing, and that's normal. It's fine, as long as you stay the course and as long as you remind yourself that one, it was not my fault. Two, I can't control the actions of others. Therefore, if I can't control the actions of others, I do not take responsibility for other people's actions. That's the important thing. That's the important thing to remember, and people will try to make you feel like you're bitter. They'll try to make you feel like you are, hanging on. You just can't let go. You won't leave things well alone. No, no, because this is something that's going to be with you for the rest of your life, not the you know the not the feeling as far as the trauma is concerned, but the memory of it. You can be 10, 15, 20 years along the line, married with your kids grown, and you're happily married with the person that you fall in love with, but that's always going to be there. That memory is always going to be there. And this is a pivotal time for you because this whole experience has taught you to know better, to do better, and to be better. And yeah, it's bittersweet. It really is. But you get to be who you need to be, and you get to go where you need to go to. And someone had mentioned to me that they felt guilty about, wanting to put their happiness, like finally pursue their happiness. And I told them, don't ever feel guilty. Don't ever feel guilty. If the person who hurt you, if the person who manipulated you, lied to you, you know, discarded you, degraded you, devalued you, if they try to come back into your life and you say no, and they try to call you selfish, or they try to do any and everything possible, man, listen, you've been through it all, you've heard it all. You don't even need to engage with them. You really don't. You really don't. Don't feel guilty for wanting your own happiness and doing it the right way. Doing it the right way, okay? Because they'll run that same game on people. Well, I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be all right, fine. Fine. You just wanted to be happy, so you felt the need to gaslight me and BS me and string me along, although you're trying to play, you're pretending that that's not the case. No, no, Andrea, and you know something, that's all that matters, that you're doing better. You don't heal 100%. You don't. It's going to be with you. It is. But over time, it becomes a far distant memory. It'll be there, but it'll be away from the life that you're going to start creating when you're ready to. And that's the key thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. From what I learned, these narcs do not run off into the sunset. They just start the cycle with some new naive victim. That's usually the case. So what they're doing is they are telling the next person things about you. You know, if you're familiar with them telling you things about an ex before you came into the picture, they're telling the next person things about you, you know, to kind of prime that next person. So if it ever came to the point where, you know, you're speaking on it, or that new person gets whim of who you are, and you know, you are, you know, some people try to warn the new person. They do. But the new person has already been brainwashed. They've already been brainwashed to believe that you were the abuser and they were the victim. Hi, Butch. Hold on 1 second. Guys, I'm definitely serious about meeting, like, you know, it's we definitely do have to set something up. And I do want to I know it's been a while since I did the group meetings and the one-on-ones. You know, with school, I've been exhausted. Like, I've been completely exhausted, but we will be going back into the group meetings, and I will be putting the schedule on the website for the one-on-ones. So, you know, hopefully that'll come up soon. I'm just trying to you know, get the hang of doing schoolwork and work and, you know, of course being a mom. You know, it's just so much, but I definitely Stella, do they still have that? Because I mean, it's COVID came out what, back in 2020? We're already going in 2023. It's been almost 3 years. Like, it was like March of 2020, wasn't it? It was around there. Yeah, but it wasn't heavy like that until like March. Oh, Stella, that sucks. Right, right. It was March of 2020. I mean, now it's to the point that if you get COVID, it just feels like a cold. It feels like a cold. Like you get, like, you know, sore throat, stuffy nose. I mean, well, I've already gone. I got my vaccinations. Amanda got hers. We, you know, the last one. Well, no, the last vaccination is funny. I had to get my measles, mumps, and rubella. Listen, the MMR. I had to get that vaccination because going back to school, there was a measles outbreak. They said, I think in 2016. So I had to go and get the shot, and I was like, I don't like needles, guys. I don't do needles. I don't like needles. I just finished getting pumped with some other stuff, and now you're telling me to get another booster? No, not doing it. Okay. I'm not doing it because that needle for the MMR was a little bit bigger and a lot more medicine in it. Man, listen. No, there was Ty. I just because when I registered for school, they gave me a list of things that I needed to do to, to make sure that I was prepared when I started the first day. And they said there was a measles outbreak in 2016. So they were like, you have to go and get the shot. And I went and I got the shot. And listen, I went to a Walgreens, and the pharmacist looked like she was tired and she wanted to go home because it was like a little after 5 o'clock, and it was painful. Okay, she poked me here, and it was just I can't stand needles. I'm going on 40 years old, and I still can't stand needles. Yeah, I can't. I mean, but now, again, it's yeah, now it's polio and monkeypox. I mean, listen, all this stuff is coming back. All this stuff is coming back, guys. I listen, I don't force people to do anything. You do whatever you feel is best for you. Um, I mean, I got it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. It wasn't. Listen, for all I know, they put sugar water. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know. That's for all I know. That's probably what they could have injected me with. Shit, they could have put chocolate in the damn thing. Wouldn't have made a difference to me. But I just say, coming from, I went on my third, I think my third booster. I already had my third booster. No, second. No, wasn't it the second? Didn't I have two? Okay, so yeah, she knows better than me. I don't even know what color underwear I'm wearing right now, so she'll know better than me. She keeps track of everything I do because I can't. But nothing happened. Nothing happened, and at least it just serves its purpose because with everybody having to, with restrictions and guidelines, nowadays people are just getting it because it's like, damn, I got to get it just to travel around and just to, to do things. So, yeah, there are a lot. Hey, girl, at least I'm wearing underwear, okay? At least I'm wearing underwear. I just don't know what color it is. We have the no mask. Yeah, they have that now, no mask. You don't have to wear masks. So that's also a good thing. I mean, I don't listen, I carry my mask in my bag just in case. So like if I go to areas that have like a large group of people, I will wear it. But if I'm in more of open areas, I won't wear it. I mean, I'm like, look, okay? I'm fat. I run upstairs. I can't breathe, and then I gotta wear a mask on top of that. You're gonna see me at the top of the stairs just laid out. Oh, Sky, your birthday's next Thursday. Well, I'll definitely be sure to send you a happy birthday email. Heather, I'm only 6.5 hours from Brooklyn. Yeah, and I rep Brooklyn, but I live in Queens, so it's uh it's all one and the same because we're on the same island. So it's all one and the same. Andrea, that's why I wore nothing but liquid lipsticks. I wore matte lipsticks because the masks, you know, wearing the glossy lipsticks, I can't. Couldn't do it. Never wore my, we had to. Out here in New York when COVID hit, it was very, very strict. You know, understandably because New York City, is one of the, high, along with the other major cities in the United States, highly populated. And you had to because if you didn't, then they weren't going to allow you to do certain things. But they just lifted the actually they just lifted it from trains and buses, from public transportation. So they said, though, we encourage you to wear it, it's not mandatory. You don't have to wear it.
People are still wearing it in some places.
Yeah, I mean, people are still gonna wear it. They're gonna still wear it in the subways and on the bus. And if you're gonna wear your mask, then it makes no sense to me wearing mine. So it's like it works for me. Yeah, either you'll be 46 next Wednesday. I'll send you a happy birthday also. We're in, what are we in? September. Libra. It's Libra season, isn't it?
Hmm.
Go Libra. I'm a moon. My moon is in Libra.
Here she goes with the nasal charts.
It's a natal chart.
Nasal.
My moon is in Libra. I have actually, wow, I have my stepmom's a Libra. I have a lot of Libra, know a lot of Libra people. Gilbert, you're an Aries, you're a fire sign. Aries are very dominant people. So I'm sure she balances you out because Libras like to keep they like to keep balance. It's something about balance. I mean, they represent the scale, because it's just like fairness. Libras like to have fairness. They like to have balance in their life, and you know, but they can be indecisive. They can be indecisive at times. So, it's like a double-edged sword, which every sign has that. Yep. That's why I think that's why the moon sign, because your moon sign, if you look at your
Nasal.
natal charts, they represent your the different planets in the different houses, and your moon sign represents your emotional state, your emotions. Your sun sign represents your personality. How did I go from talking about narcissists to
I
talking
don't
about
know.
astrology?
What is this, an astrology class now?
Well, just so you know, all right.
We went from narcissists to geography. Now we're going to astrology.
Yeah. Yeah, I did my natal chart on if you interrupt me one more time. I did my natal chart on Cafe Astrology, but I also did my Vedic. If you guys are familiar with Vedic charts, um Vedic astrology is more like it's more precise. It's more precise on your signs. When I did my Vedic, because we do Western astrology, when I did my Vedic chart, I learned that my sun sign is Sagittarius and my moon sign is Virgo. So, Andre, I'm multifaceted. I like to talk about a lot of different things. I do. I do. I could sit here and talk about narcissists all day and then come to end the conversation. I'll be like, "Girl, what's your sign?" "Oh, girl, you a Pisces?" "Okay, let's talk about it." But yeah, if you guys are interested, I mean, listen, it's all fun. Like I do it for like entertainment. I used to love to read the horoscopes. I love to. And it's funny because after everything happened to me, I was like always constantly reading my horoscopes. Like something good has to happen. Something good has to come to me. Like I can't, you know. But yeah, I'm just one of those types that I like to learn new things. I like to have a lot of things under my belt, so that way I'm multifaceted. I say, why limit yourself? Don't limit yourself. It is. It's a way to. Hi, bittersweet. How are you? Yes, I do, Andrea. I do. I went from, oh my gosh. I do baking. I do writing. I write my books. I do painting. I do, I like to sing. I have the Smule app that I like to sing on. Um all these signs y'all talking about, well, I'm a former Baptist myself. Well, listen, mess around, I might get into learning religion, learning different different cultures. I'm doing good, sweetheart. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. What do
Y'all
you
gonna
think
wear her out. She's gonna have to go to bed after this.
what do you think about tarot card? Well, tarot, listen, to each their own. I don't I don't, it's not for me. Let's just say that. It's not for me. I don't, because I believe that using those you do invite certain things, and if you're not careful, you can invite things that you do not want, you know. So I stay away from that. I don't, practice that. I do know people who do. I do know of people who do, but I definitely I definitely do not get involved in it because it's just like conjuring things that and me, I'm already like certain things are going on in my house already as it is. So I try to keep things out. Yeah, no, there have been things, right, Amanda?
What?
I've had certain things happen.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, now you don't know what I'm talking about.
And it hasn't happened since I've been here.
Something, because one time you were asleep and something knocked something over here. It's little things here and there, but nothing to the point of that, like, scary. Or I'm like, listen, I'm the type of person. Look, kidnappers would not want me. Let's just put it that way. Okay, they would not want me. The minute they pick me up and they take me and put me in the van, I will be sitting there debating their asses to the point that they'll just be like, just throw her ass out, just throw her out. To trust and believe, people don't want to be haunting me because I'm that kind of person. If you coming up into my house, you paying some rent. That's it.
I'm not hiding.
Okay, come into my house, you're paying rent. I don't play that. Sergio, that's awesome. Sergio says, all I know is when I got discarded after 12-year marriage and a family, I suddenly got closer to God. And that's interesting because it does bring you closer. It does bring you closer to God. It's just something so traumatic happens to the point where you can't help but surrender. You can't help but surrender yourself and just become closer to God because, it's just like, why did this happen? Like, you want answers. You want so many answers. And I learned throughout my life that, especially after this situation, I already knew I wasn't going to get the answers that I wanted, not from that person. I already knew I wasn't going to get the answers. I knew that I was going to just kind of have to walk away without knowing the full truth of things, the full story of things. But God over time showed me certain things. He showed me things that were going on. He gave me my clarity. He gave me my own clarity. Believe it or not, guys, God speaks to you in different ways. In your dreams, He speaks to you, through certain signs, certain people. He speaks to you in so many different ways. And I came to the acceptance. I've accepted. So I was like, you know, it's just I made peace with it and I just moved on. I just moved on. Yes, Andrea, I prayed for peace. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's going to tell you because when people, he'll let you know who the snake is in the grass. He'll let you know who it is. You decide what you want to do with it. He came to me and showed me a lot of things. He showed me things that I was like, I wasn't even ready for. I was not ready for, but I accepted it. I accepted it for what it was, and I moved on. I just moved on with my life, and so much to the point that, listen, I won't bite the person's head off. I won't hurt them in any way. I'm not going to do any of that. And he wants us to forgive them, and I know it's going to take time. It's going to take some time, but you do it in your own time. I've already forgiven, I've moved on. Just because I talk about my experiences or because I express, it's not for the sake of, oh, I can't let go. It's for the sake of, I'm trying to help someone else who's going through the same motions. A lot of people have asked me, how did you get to this point? How did you become so strong? How did you, get this attitude? How did you get from point A to point B? And I can't tell them how I did it if I, don't tell them my experience. But that's the main purpose of telling my stories and speaking my truth on what happened to me. I don't tell it to hold it against the person or, to hold a grudge against that person. If that person feels some kind of way because of what I'm doing, then that's on them. That has nothing to do with me. I let it go. I gave it to God. They have to live with their choices. I don't have to live with that. I asked God to remove everybody who isn't for me, and I had a season of being alone, but I needed that absolutely. You ask, He's going to give it to you. And I think that's part of the reason why people are so scared. Like people get scared to ask God, reveal my enemies, because they're going to be shocked and surprised at who their enemies really are. This is why people get scared in relationships. They won't I can admit to it. I did not want to go to God and say, "Lord, if this man is not for me, remove him from my life," because I wanted him in my life. Part of me knew, part of me maybe subconsciously knew that this person was probably not a man sent by God. But because I loved him, because I wanted things to work with him, I denied myself going to God and asking God, if this man is not from you, is not of you, remove them from my life. I could have saved myself a lot of heartache if I had just gone and prayed to him about it rather than having to go through all of that because he at the eventually he ended up removing this person from my life regardless. Regardless. Thank you, official. I'm glad, and I'm glad I could be here for you guys. I'm glad I can just, be that stepping stone for you. I'm glad to be. Bittersweet, how did you learn to forgive? I find that hard to do. Forgiveness is hard. Forgiveness is hard. And it's amazing how we can go to God and ask forgiveness for our sins and God will cast it away and it's no longer part of his memory. He no longer remembers your sins. Of course, if you're genuine about, repenting. For us, it's hard because we can hold a grudge. It's hard because that pain is so real. And I forgave by, over time, just learning to accept, but I learned that if I didn't forgive, I had a sty in my eye. And it's crazy, guys. A sty isn't supposed to be in your eye this long. I had a sty in my eye for a little over 2 years, and it was like a ball in my eye, just really not painful, but it was annoying. It was affecting and I come to realize that the sty was in my eyes because I was looking through the eyes of anger. I was so angry. I was so angry. I was angry. I was angry. And I went to God and I said, help me forgive him. At least that much. Just help me forgive him because it's not for him, it's for me. You forgiving that person is not for them, it's for you. It's for you. And when I, over time, learn to release and let it go and just forgive them, the sky started going down. My peace started, becoming coming like more and more. It was like really strengthening. And I was just at the point where I was like, something, this person was this way before I ever even came into the picture with them, and at the end of the day, this is how they're going to live their life. This is who they're going to be. That's on them. That has nothing to do with me. But it was just more so just letting it go and letting God take care of it because I know there's better for me out there. I know that there is, you know, someone or even something. Maybe I'm not meant to be in a relationship. Maybe I'm not meant to be with someone. Maybe I'm just meant to, complete a mission and move forward in my life. And I'm okay with that. I'm accepting of that. But as hard as it is, which it is hard, it's hard to forgive someone. Always remind yourself just because you forgive that person doesn't mean that you lost. Doesn't mean, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people hold on to the anger and they hold on to the grudge because it's like, well, if I forgive this person, it means that I'm caving, I'm giving in, I'm losing. You're not. You're not. You have so much more to gain from forgiveness than you do from holding on to resentment, holding on to the anger and the pain. You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. And it's like I said, it's not easy. It's not, and you take your time. You don't have to forgive them tomorrow. You take as much time as you need to take, as long as it's you're not confining yourself, as long as you're not restricting yourself and limiting your life. Because they want you to hold on to that grudge. That's the one thing, guys. They want you to hold on to the grudge. They want you to hold on to the anger and the pain because the minute you forgive them means that you have come into acceptance. And that means that there is no chance in hell that they will have another chance in your life. That's why they want you upset. They want you angry. That's why they try to hoover you or breadcrumb you. So keep that in mind when if or when someone betrays your trust. Forgiveness is what's going to it's what's going to beat them. You're very welcome, Bittersweet. You are absolutely welcome. So glad. I'm so glad to have you a part of it. I am. Official. I appreciate you, sweetie. That's it. That's it. If we're only here for a mission, guys, and we're not here to we're not meant to date, we're not meant to be in a relationship. We're just meant to, develop our relationship with God and complete a mission on earth, whatever that is. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Sky, absolutely. It's important to forgive yourself because you have taken the accountability and you're learning to say, something, I forgive myself for the choices I made. I forgive myself for allowing things to happen. I forget and then you move on to the next, to the next phase. Again, guys, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's all for you. Okay? Holding on to resentment, holding on to the anger, holding on to the pain. What is that saying? How does that saying go? It's like drinking poison. You're drinking poison, but expecting that person to die. It's not gonna benefit you. Andrea, thank you so much, sweetheart. Yes, Sergio, accepting who they are and accepting you who you are, living your best life and knowing that they're fake and feel sorry for them because deep down inside they're miserable. And that's why we just let God have it. Give it give it to God. Always give it to God. His revenge, whatever he decides, his will, It's guaranteed. Our revenge and us being upset is nothing compared to God's will. So let him handle it. All right, official. I'm gonna hold you to it. So guys, thank you so much, so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for joining and just being a part of this family. It's always appreciated. Again, I'm super proud of all of you. I'm super proud of the progress that you're all making and the moves that you're making. It's awesome. I just love to hear good news. I love to hear good things happening in everyone's lives. And I just want you to know that although I have a crazy schedule, I'm always here if you need me. Okay? I'm always here if you need me. Amanda is here, if you need her. And, either way, one of us will get to you and one of us will be able to help you if you have a crisis or an emergency or what have you. Okay? That's what we are here for. I am going to call it a night because we had such a long week, a long work week. We are exhausted and we have a lot of stuff to do over the weekend, but thank you so very much, guys. You have just completely made this so much more worth it. This entire journey, this mission, you've made it worth it. And I will keep you posted on other giveaways, other events. I'm still working on some more paintings, so I will throw up the date of the next giveaway on the website, narcsurvival101.com. Again, if you haven't already, please sign up for the website so you're notified of upcoming events, you're notified of the giveaways, and of course the blogs. Definitely check out the blogs, guys. I do, like I said, I do put a lot of work into it because it gives like more broken down details. Um, I for some reason I can speak on things, I can do videos on things, but I can write the hell out of things. Like I can sit here on my laptop and write everything down word for word, just like perfectly and orchestrate and organize. I don't know. I guess I was born to be a writer, but definitely check out the blogs. It gives you more informed details of it, okay? I'm still working on the latest blog, which is Narcissistic Abuse. Um, and I'm giving more details of the tactics and the punishments and all types of stuff. So, but thank you, Stella. Thank you, Sergio, for being here. Ty, my dude, thank you. Sky. Hi, Daniel. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I just want to Daniel, thank you for first of all, thank you for your feedback and for your support. Have you seen the My Bill of Rights for DV victims? No, I haven't. But if you can email me, the link, narcsurvival101 at gmail.com. I'm always open to reading new things or anything pertaining to domestic violence. Send it my way, guys. Narcsurvival101 at gmail.com so I can be up to speed with things and provide more resources for anyone who's experiencing domestic abuse. So Daniel, if you can please send that to me. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Official, I got you, bro. I got you. All right. I know that it's been kind of hard to win the giveaways, guys. I know it has been hard, but for those, I'm gonna shoot you guys some emails. All right, I got you guys. Don't worry about it. I want everyone to win, but I know the people who've been here since day one. You guys are my day ones, so I got you guys. All right. Um, Kareem, thank you so much, sweetie, for being here. Sky, Stella, Bittersweet, thank you. Guys, have a beautiful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay. If you're going to be around next week, I'll be on TikTok, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Narc Survival 101 for anyone who's new. All of that stuff will be in the description box below. Have a beautiful night, guys. I love you all. God bless you all. Love, peace, God's protection. All that good stuff. You already know how I do, guys. Have a beautiful night. I'll see you next week. Good night, guys.